Good morning, everyone. I'm David Paul. I'm the Managing Director here at VectorVest in the UK. And unfortunately, not great news to report this morning. The title of my little talk is Stock Markets Are on the Ropes. In the first slide, I'm showing a long-term view of the UK market. It's the VectorVest composite over the last 5 years. I think you can see quite clearly the sell-off because of COVID last February and the move up that we've had. This is an equally weighted measure of all of the shares that we follow in the London market, 2,000 shares. It's the broadest measure of the London market that I know of. You can see the damage done last Friday. Most of that was done in the one day, that last weekly bar. But as you can see, the trend is still strongly up. So we're seeing what many would call a healthy correction. These corrections never seem that healthy when you're actually living through them, however. A shorter term view of the same thing on a daily chart. And we can see those red and green triangles on the VectorVest composite over the last year. And as we go into the trading day from Friday's close, ladies and gentlemen, the longest term measure of the trend on VectorVest is down, and the short term measure of the trend has been down for the last week or so. So VectorVest advice is not to buy any stocks, that advice has been in place now for 2 or 3 days at least. The dynamic that's caused the market to fall this morning is that the CEO of Moderna, the vaccine company, has cast doubts upon the ability of the vaccine, the current vaccine, to be effective against this new strain, this new variant of coronavirus. So markets in free fall, the oil market leading the fall down. I see even AstraZeneca is off 2% this morning. So we're in the midst of a correction. The long-term trend is still intact, but nevertheless, let's just be very careful out there. Watch your stop losses very carefully indeed. That's the American market. The American market has been in a sell signal for much longer than the UK market. Again, it's still quite a long way above the October low, but nevertheless, I would suspect that that's going to break down at the open, and the futures market is already 60 points off yesterday's close. That's pretty much right down at the lows of last Friday. So it's in fact given back this morning all the gains that it made yesterday afternoon. So a weak open ahead. I think that it's still worthy of looking at some stocks at this stage, and I've got 3 stocks that I'm looking at. The first is Games Workshop, because last Friday, Games Workshop was one of the very few stocks that in fact rose on a terrible day. And I suspected for a long time, I've been speaking to the VectorVest regulars about this, that 90 pound level was a line in the sand, and that's where it would be bid. And the market came down last week below that 90 pound support level, supply level that I've been showing via that horizontal line, and it reversed quite strongly there. It was up again yesterday. Clearly it's going to be off today like everything else, but when the general market turns, it looks to me as if Games Workshop will be a really great buy around the 90 pound level. Future, I spoke about when I was on here last week. It's actually dropped down, had a good day yesterday. Folks, if this virus situation gets worse, then I don't care what the fundamentals are, everything is going to fall as it did last February. But it would seem to me as if it's been a bit overhyped at the moment, and if the general market should turn up again, then this is an exceptionally good level on future. And the other stock that I think is sitting at exceptionally good levels is Cranswick, a defensive stock in meat and pork and chicken, and it's pulled back to that resistance level. That's pretty much where it fell to February 2020, and that looks like a great level. As you can see, the blue line over the last 5 years, Cranswick's grown earnings per share very strongly indeed, and the stochastic is in an overbought position. But ladies and gentlemen, as I say, if the general market falls and we have a scare, then everything is going to fall with it. So all operations, no more buying of stocks. Watch your stop losses very carefully indeed, and do your best to action those stop losses. If you've got a share that hasn't performed for you, then consider liquidating that, building up some cash for the next buy signal, which will surely come, as sure as day follows night. So just be very careful out there. Thanks very much.